Hi, and welcome to this new episode of Pilates Deep Dive. Today, I'm inviting you back to the essentials, a movement that seems simple at first glance, but reveals infinite richness when we take the time to truly feel it. The roll-up in the Stott Pilates method. I invite you to lie on your back. Take this moment. The mat becomes your anchor. The pelvis and spine are in neutral. The legs are extended, parallel, ankles in dorsiflexion. The arms reach overhead, and already you're within the framework of the movement. What we're looking for here is a conscious mobilization of the spine, vertebra by vertebra. A fluid rise, driven by breath, by intention, and by inner strength. Inhale, the arms lift toward the ceiling, the scapula remains stable. Exhale, the neck lengthens, the head nods, and the spine begins to peel off the mat. Vertebra by vertebra, we leave the floor gently with precision. The crown of the head reaches toward the fingers. The arms extend forward, parallel to the ground. The spine stays rounded. The gaze is soft. The pelvis reaches a vertical position without rolling past the sight bones. This is where the balance between effort and control plays out. Then inhale again. Maintain the curve, the flexion, and exhale as you roll back down slowly with imprint. Each vertebra returns to the mat like a memory sinking into the earth. The coccyx lands, the sacrum follows, then the lumbar spine, and finally the head. The arms return overhead. The body resets to neutral. The cycle is complete. Now comes the subtle mechanics between agonists and antagonists. When we roll up, it's the hip flexors that activate, namely the iliacus, the rectus femoris, and also the sartorius. The iliopsoas is actually a duo. The iliacus originates from the internal iliac fossa inside the pelvis and inserts on the lesser trochanter of the femur. It's a deep muscle, literally connecting the spine to the leg. It's central in any controlled rise of the trunk. The sartorius, meanwhile, is the longest muscle in the body. It stretches diagonally like a ribbon from the anterior superior iliac spine and travels down to insert on the inner surface of the tibia at the level of the pes anserinus. It assists in hip flexion, external rotation, and knee flexion, a muscle to watch in hypermobile students and athletic movers alike. During the roll-up, these muscles are the agonists, working concentrically. At the same time, the hip extensors, like the hamstrings and gluteus maximus, play an antagonist role, lengthening passively. And as we roll back down, the roles reverse. The hip flexors work eccentrically to control the descent, while the extensors prepare to give the pelvis support on return. This dialogue between muscles is orchestrated in real time by the nervous system. Every voluntary contraction begins in the brain. It's the neurotransmitters, like acetylcholine, that transmit the motor signal from nerve to muscle. Contract now. Within milliseconds, the message is delivered, the synapse activates, and the muscle responds. And for the movement to remain fluid, other neurotransmitters help maintain balance. Glutamate amplifies transmission. Dopamine refines motor control, supports concentration and motivation. GABA in the release phase allows muscle relaxation. It inhibits, it creates space, it restores mobility. What we're training here is not just the body. It's a neuromuscular intelligence, a movement consciousness. What I often observe is the temptation to pull up too fast, to use the arms, to overcompensate with the shoulders or neck. And yet, the roll-up is all about slowness, detail, and segmental articulation. It's a movement that doesn't lie. And for that, we adapt. And if the hip flexors are too tight, if the lower back is vulnerable, we bend the knees, we use a flex band, or we place a ball between the knees to engage the adductors. What we're seeking isn't performance, it's coherence, a full-body conversation, and once the roll-up is truly embodied, it becomes a marker, a spiral of centering, a root movement. It develops spinal mobility, yes, but also trunk stability. It teaches us the deep link between breath, posture, and perception. And it reminds us with every vertebra that alignment begins with listening. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of the roll up. I'll see you very soon for another moment of movement and presence here on BioPilates Deep Dive.